Hi, I'm Jackson Spencer, and today I'm going to talk to you about Chain Gangs by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. Didn't want to get the name wrong, so had to read it. But this is a killer book. It mixes a reality TV about murderers who are brought into a fight club kind of deathmatch situation, but it does it with a subtlety about the characters that is unique. Most of those are female, the author is male, and yet there's incredible emotions that ring true in every level that the author explores. The violence is similar to what Hitchcock described as Hitchcock wanted to film love stories like murder scenes and murder scenes like love scenes, and this guy does action with a respect for the motivation for that violence that makes it unbelievable. I just want to read the opening couple of pages because that sets the scene. It's actually not exactly the opening, but it's a kill scene, and it shows so much respect for the character that you just have to hear it. So here we go. Her arms switchblades and her legs carried. She continued the push and switch of her arms and legs, forging speed. Her body told her, this speed, me, your body, is your weapon. When she was 2 paces away, Melankolia's arm swung backward, a negative motion, a build-up. She pulled the hammer back, the picture of destructive potential. Thurwar's, the other character, Thurwar's foot came down again. Melancholia came forward, pushing first, then letting the hammer pull her. It swung across the air in a murder song. Thurwar dove towards the ground, tucked in her head and neck, and rolled as the hammer sowed fresh death into nothing. Who writes that? She crouched and then leapt, her right corkscrewed fist landing. She screamed as she ripped open Melankolia's jaw. The silence bore something new in Thurwar. Her body tingled as red fell into her fist. A spattering of blood burst from Melankolia's lips. The hammer rose briefly and crushed down, just grazing Thurwar's shoulder as she twisted out of its murderous path. Thurwar jumped onto Melankolia's back. She wrapped her legs around Bishop's waist and stabbed hard into the side of Bishop's neck, then pulled the corkscrew out and punched in again. This time, as she tried to pull it out, the screw resisted, caught in the tangle of Bishop's flesh. Thurwar pulled harder, and when she did, the handle came out alone. The metal screw lost somewhere in Bishop's throat. With nothing with which to pierce, Thurwar punched Melankolia's head. She'd given 3 heavy blows before she felt the champion's knees buckle. Bishop swatted weakly behind her at Thurwar as if at a pesky fly. Her hammer was on the ground. Thurwar drank the sweet, rich silence of absolute awe. She screamed a roar, and in that moment she was the only sound. She jumped from the woman's back, and Melancholia stood sleepily, somehow still. Seeing the woman on her feet, Thurwar scrambled to grab the hammer. Her fingers found the grip, and Melancholia looked down at her. Suddenly afraid, Thurwar jumped back. Bishop swayed, holding her neck, Bishop swayed, holding her neck, then letting it go. Her eyes were brown, beautiful, tired, and yet they widened for a moment as she looked at Thurwar, her killer. Come at me, those eyes said. Thurwar obeyed. She ran. She brought the hammer like a bomb to the face of its first master, and the people, those people, were silent no more. That's just a killer opening chapter. This is the end of the first chapter. Everything that follows is just as wild, just as rich in vocabulary, in scenery, in setting, in kinetic descriptions. I mean, this thing, you can power through that in no time. I recommend this wholeheartedly. It's part of my little, short series on African authors or African original authors. With all the respect of that culture, I find it fascinating because it drives you in and draws you into a place that is foreign and mysterious and exotic. And in this particular case, as in many others, this author does a wonderful, wonderful job of setting a scene that just, you can't look away. You can't look away. I really recommend this book. Once again, Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. Amazing, amazing piece of action literature. Enjoy.